Today, I want to teach you some very useful expressions that all have the word outside. That's coming up. Hey everyone, my name is Wes. This is Interactive English, the channel that is just all about trying to help you practice and improve your English skills. And today, as you can see, I am outside. It's a beautiful day. So I wanted to take this opportunity to teach you some very important expressions in English that all have the word outside. And because you know what it means to be outside, I want you to keep that in mind because I think that will help you more easily understand the meaning of these expressions. So let's begin with one that I think is very common. This is something as a teacher I would tell students quite often. And I would tell them, think outside the box. And what this means is to think in a way that is different and thinking in a way that is creative and innovative. Because if you think about a box, inside the box, that's the way everybody else thinks. It's normal, it's expected. You want to be creative, you want to come up with some new ideas, you want to be innovative, you want to think outside the box.
You have to think outside the box.
Think outside the box. I might be able to do that.
I'll drum up some business. We just gotta think outside the box, like the makers of Dry as ice cream.
If we're gonna stop them, we have to think outside the box.
Then we have an expression which is to color outside the lines. And I think about a coloring book. If you are trying to color this picture, a lot of people would say, oh, you need to color inside the lines. In this case, you're saying the opposite, to color outside the lines, because what it means is to act and behave in a way that is, well, it's not expected, and you're kind of breaking the rules in that sense. So if you're talking about somebody who likes to color outside the lines, then you're referring to somebody that may like to break or bend the rules a little bit. They just don't like to follow the traditional expectations to color outside the lines.
We must remember, Bart, that sometimes it is okay to color outside the lines.
Giving up the money.
I got what I could. You lost the money trail, Lester, when you decided to start coloring outside of the lines.
Why are you out here? I colored outside the lines. Seems like a harsh punishment.
Then there's an expression, it's more of a statement, which I think is one that you might hear if you're watching a TV show or movie and people are pretty angry with each other and somebody says, you want to step outside? Let's step outside. In this case, if somebody is saying this to another person, they're referring to fighting. They're basically saying, let's go outside and let's fight, and that's the way we're gonna try and solve this problem. And they would say, let's step outside. It's not something that I would want to say. I don't like fighting, and I hope it's something that you don't have to say, but in this case, it's good for your comprehension, because if somebody asks you and they say, hey, let's step outside, you say, no, I wanna stay inside.
You wanna step outside?
Yeah, I'll step outside.
Hey.
I'm not married to the biggest horse's ass in 3 counties.
All right, Beulah, do you want to step outside? Fine.
Another expression that is kind of related to that, it is just take it outside. And this is like, it's a command that somebody would say to perhaps another group of people who are arguing, and they would say, look, take it outside. And it's not really saying that, oh, you have to go fight outside. It could be, it's really just saying, take your argument and leave. You need to exit, you need to get out of here because it's causing a problem. Maybe it's a distraction, it's disruptive, and somebody would tell this group who's arguing, they'd say, take it outside. We don't want this in here, take it outside.
Take it outside. Never start anything inside the bar unless it's absolutely necessary.
But my friend here has hypothermia.
Hypothermia.
All right, guys. Take it outside.
You guys, please, take it outside!
Then there is the expression, an outside chance. And if somebody's talking about, they're talking about a situation, and if they say there's an outside chance, it refers to an unlikely possibility. So if somebody mentions, for example, they say, there's an outside chance that the game will get canceled. In this case, they're saying there is an unlikely possibility that the game will get canceled, but it could happen. There's an outside chance.
If you even want to have an outside chance of reaching someone nowadays, you damn sure better speak from your heart.
I'm wasting my time listening to singers that don't sing. All I can say is that she might stand an outside chance as a mime act.
Of course, there is one outside chance for a cure. I think of it as a shock treatment.
Then we have the expression on the outside looking in. And this is talking about, well, a person might use it to describe themselves. And what they're referring to is a situation in which they are excluded from a group or some other situation that they would like to be a part of. But because they're excluded, they could describe this and say that, look, I'm on the outside looking in. I've been excluded from the group. I don't know what's going on. I'm on the outside looking in.
It's obvious you're on the outside looking in.
Take the opportunity to elect new officers, or the U.S. Attorney will padlock the door, and you'll be outside looking in.
The system is dead.
Dad, the system's not dead. It's just that for the first time in your life, you're on the outside looking in.
Then we have a phrase which is, sorry, I forgot. When I'm outside, I kind of just, I get a little distracted. Oh, I remember. It is to be detached from the outside world. You could say detached from the world, but I think in this case, you're going to use outside. Somebody is detached from the outside world, and what this means is that somebody is kind of, they're really away from society. They're not participating in it. So I think of somebody who might go and just live in the woods. They want to get away from everything that's happening in the city or a town, and they want to get detached from the outside world. I think all of us can relate to this expression, because you could also think about it when perhaps you take a vacation and people might turn off their cell phones. They don't want to be bothered by work or anything else. They just want to relax, and they want to be a little detached from the outside world. So that is another example as to how you can use this expression. Then we have an expression which I think is very easy. It means exactly what it says, and that is, it's cold outside. And I think people would use this really to give it a little bit of emphasis, because you're saying that the weather's cold, the temperatures are cold. But instead of just saying it's cold, people will add outside. And it's a pretty common expression. If somebody wants to tell others and they come in and they say, wow, it's cold outside. It's just really cold out there.
So it's cold outside. Why does everyone in this state have to be such a wimp about it?
Why, it's cold outside, huh? Oh, these New York winters.
It's cold outside. You'll need a sweater. A sweater.
And then there's an expression, outside the law. And what this refers to is somebody who is not abiding by the law, or really they're breaking the law, and you could say that they are working outside the law, or they are doing something and operating outside the law. They're not following the laws. They're outside the law.
They operate outside the law, and they are dangerous.
Tell Monica? Gonna tell Joey? No, because then you're gonna have to tell them what we did. We are dessert stealers. We are living outside the law.
So I hope you learned some new expressions, and that you can even use them if you find yourself in the appropriate situation. If you enjoyed the lesson and you learned something new, please hit that like button. As always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.